This is a quick video to show you how to make a quick video using tools Canva and Adobe Spark. So what I would recommend is that you first create a design in Canva, and you can make a presentation or any of these other forms, but the presentation is going to have the best defaults for your project. First thing I would do is title your presentation something relevant. So this is going to be sample presentation. And then the power of Canva is the capacity to make these templates and then very rapidly search for public domain photos and music videos and other elements that you can add to your screen. So you might choose to make an educational presentation template. So I will just pick this one, why not? And this shows you the types of slides that will show up in the presentation. So I will just go ahead and say apply to all 16 pages, and it will basically copy this exact presentation to your slides over here. And now we can modify them to fit our needs. So you'll see as we scroll here, we can go through all the different slides. And so we would probably want to change everything on here. So this is a sample presentation. And then most of these elements are individual images, right? So if you don't like paper clips, you can get rid of those. If you really like paper clips, you can make more of those. Right? And you can send them to the back, similar to using something like Adobe Illustrator. But these images are very rapid to find. So you can look at a bunch of different types of elements. So let's say we want a different type of pencil. We can find all of these clip art type pencils to include. And we might, probably won't, but we might even want a picture of a pencil. And so in our photo search, it'll find any public domain images that we can put maybe over here. Actually, I like that better than the cartoon pencil, so I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So the nice thing about this is if you don't have an eye for graphic design, which I really don't, it gives you a lot of the elements that are already going to have, for example, a good palette and a good layout that'll be interesting and attractive. So if you have images that you already want to use, you can upload those, and you can also add elements from other apps. There are your uploads. I knew it was somewhere around here. And you can use those in here as well. So if these are images that you found on Google, as opposed to the public domain search it uses here. So maybe you have a beaker and you want a beaker on here. You might put that on there. And it's easy to resize this. Actually, that was a crop. I think resize is hold down shift. Nope, that wasn't it. Resize is hold down control. Yeah, that was it. And you can send backwards. Send to the back. But if we found an image from Google that we wanted, so let's say we want an image of an atom. We can search images. Now, ideally, you would be using a public domain image, right? So we would the wrong one is advanced search, isn't it? Or is it tools? usage rights. It's under tools. So we'll look for just a Creative Commons license. Wikipedia and Wikimedia are good choices for that. And I'm sure a good option would come up in Canva here, but this is just an example. So we'll call this atom.png. And we can open our sample presentation here, and then we'll upload it. And it's from our device. Of course, you can link it to a bunch of other things. And there are downloads over here, and it was the atom. Okay, and once that's finished uploading, which it is now, we can include that in our presentation as well. So obviously my presentation is looking pretty stupid, but you can see all of the elements that I'm just adding here. So once you have edited all of these slides that you want, and you can always duplicate a slide. Let's say you like this layout. You can duplicate it by hitting the duplicate. If you don't like this slide, you can delete it by clicking delete. If you want a brand new empty slide, you can say add page, and it will give you the theme colors, but it won't have any of these elements already attached to it. When you are ready to finish your design aspect, you can click on download. I would recommend downloading this as a sequence of PNGs. This is going to be the easiest way to put it into Adobe Spark. We do not want a transparent background if we want Adobe Spark to have all of the image, including the background color. You definitely don't want to compress it. So we're just going to download that, and it'll take a little bit of time. But when it's done, we'll be ready to upload this into Adobe Spark. There we go. So you ought to have a Creative Cloud drive attached. You don't have to do it this way, but this is a convenient way to do it, is to use your Creative Cloud, make a folder in there for your specific presentation that you're making, and then copy all of the PNG files into that one folder. Now the Creative Commons, the Creative Cloud, since that is an Adobe product, when we come over here to Spark, it will have those images in it. The easiest way to make a video now is to click on slideshow, and you can give it a name. So this is sample presentation. You can choose a template here, but since we are importing a template, basically, we're importing images from a template, I would just say start from scratch. It's going to populate your slideshow now. And you can watch this little video as a tutorial, but we don't really need that right now. So this is going to give us only a couple of slides, and now what we can do is directly import as photos the images that we put into our folder. It is doing these slightly out of order because of the way the numbering worked. So there's number 1 down there. And it ought to scale to fit automatically. And you can see the resolution catches up with it. And now what you can do, I don't know if this is going to work since I'm already catching the audio, but I'm going to try. You can hold down this and record whatever you want to say. And then when you let go, it will record it has recorded only that segment that you spoke. I do not have system audio linked, so you probably can't hear that. You can hold down this and record whatever you want. Now you just do that for each page. So we add a video, or sorry, a photo from this folder. Number 2 will be in here somewhere. 10, 7. I don't know why it's so hard to find the number 2. You know what? I'm just putting slide 3 in there. Okay. And then after that's in, you record the next sequence that you want to have. Okay. When you have completed everything, you can add the credits, you can add the outro. When you've completed everything, you can add some music. It has a lot of free licensed music in here. I like most of them. And it will play this softly in the background. You can change how softly up here. You can upload your own if you have if you own the license for that software. And when you are done, you will have the whole video, or you will have the whole sequence of slideshow with the audio recorded on each one, and then you can just download the file as something like an MP4 in order to upload it to YouTube. Okay, so that is the basics of how to make your presentation and video in Canva and Adobe Spark.